All right, Pat, I'm ready when you're ready.
Okay. All right.
Let her rip.
All right. Welcome back to Georgia Peachcast, coming to you from Cherokee County, Georgia. This is Pat.
And this is Gregg.
All right. This is a little information, but it goes to the heart of what we're going through this year, and we just got finished doing primaries in Georgia, and then we got the midterms coming. The ERAs, everybody really know what the ERA is? I'm going to guess most people don't. But anyway, it's the Equal Rights Amendment. The Equal Rights Amendment has been proposed every year since 1923. And the Equal Rights Amendment was 103 years now that they have been proposing. The Equal Rights Amendment has been being proposed. It is to give women equal rights as men, basically, without going into the details. Okay, that's what's meant to do. Why do men predominantly those in position of power in states and federal legislations appear to be threatened by the prospect of gender equality? Women's leadership in major countries worldwide underscores the notion that American men may feel insecure about competing with women on an equal footing. Women have been leaders in major countries around the world for years, so it must be American men who feel less equal. Oh, well, that's right. They're equal but one, and you can figure out what that one area is that they're not equal in. And they couldn't handle it even if they were equal.
Yeah, it boils down to, the concept, this macho concept of men being life takers, whereas women are life givers.
Right.
And
if women don't get out and make their voices heard this year, more so than ever before, I don't know.
Well, it's astounding to me that here we are. This act was produced in 1923, and it still hasn't passed. There's like 3 states that are missing in ratifying that particular.
And actually,
piece.
they have, but they've done it after the deadline. All they have to do in the Senate, okay, is extend the date that makes it a time frame for those other 3 states to be included in the count. And once that's done, it's there. But women are sitting on this thing for 103 years. Why they're not out in the street, I don't know. I just don't understand that.
So here's the skinny on it. A total of 38 states have officially ratified the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment. That actually reaches the 3/4 threshold needed for it to become a constitutional amendment.
Right.
Okay. Virginia became the 38th and final necessary state to approve it in January of 2020, which begs the question: how come it's not law yet?
Yeah, because there was a deadline in which those other 3 states had to approve it, and we're beyond the date, way beyond the date that Congress originally approved in it. So all Congress has to do is now restate the date time frame and make it now or 2 months from now, and whatever, and that automatically would make it a constitution. It will be an amendment to the Constitution, and all Congress has to do is extend the date which those 3 states that have voted for it will be counted in the final vote. And that's all it is. That's all it takes. And the Congress keeps doing it, and again, back to the Congress led by mostly men, and the women are just letting.
Well, not just that, mostly conservative, men who believe that a woman's place is not in Congress or in positions of true equality when it comes to things like, equal pay for equal work. So,
I know. That's all right.
I'm holding my breath, folks, because I don't want to explode.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And I'm already exploding because I just, anyway, That's one subject. And
Yep.
Greg, you got another.
Oh,
subject.
well, let's talk about the election. So, yesterday, of course, was the primary here in Georgia. And so, we saw some of our, it was the one really good thing I can say since moving here in 1998 and voting here since 1999 is I don't think I've ever seen a ballot that had more choices for candidates other than Republicans in all of my time living here in Georgia. And so to me, that was incredibly heartening, no matter what the results are. The fact that people are getting out there and voting some other way, or at least running for office as Democrats or as independents, especially as Democrats, is to me very, very heartening. And we need a lot more of it. We need a nice playing field where lots of people are vying for seats, not just on the Democrat side, but the Republican too, but also, people that are talking about issues that are core to all Georgians. And, I'm not a big fan of the identity politics that have been going on. And to see, candidates on both sides trying to move, away from that and more toward core issues, and especially Democrats. Democrats, I think more than Republicans are really trying to focus on those core issues that voters are concerned about. Things like affordability, which affects everybody. That is not an identity politics thing. About, safety, about, equality. No matter who you are, what your gender is, what your sexual preference is, those are core issues that affect all of us. And to see candidates running on those issues, especially affordability, equality in the workplace, equality in job opportunities, and in creating job opportunities for people of all ages in Georgia, I think those are really, really important issues. What do you think, Pat?
No, I absolutely agree, and the fact that we know that, especially at least here where we're personally involved in the Democratic Party and getting Democrats on the ballot, there's been an extreme effort to get that done. That back to your original point that we, up until this last year or so, that we haven't even had Democrats on the ballot for people to have a choice. So we were stuck with whoever was there, and we just had to suck it up. Now that effort has here in Cherokee County has been very extreme to put somebody on the ballot in every possible, in
every race.
Every race.
Yep.
And we've done that.
In every seat.
And so the exposure of those individuals and the Democratic Party on the ballot is a great step forward.
And speaking of moving forward, as the weeks go on, as much as possible. Of course, the summer is coming up, so both Pat and I have summer plans, but we will be getting a hold of candidates that made it through the primary and trying to get them on the pod. So if you like and appreciate what we're doing, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and that alarm bell for when we post new episodes. I would love to say that we're going to be week by week, but we may not be because of family planning, family visitation issues and things like that, just like y'all. And but we will be trying to keep you up on the candidates and their positions and how they're framing their elections coming up in November.
Right, especially toward the end of the summer, as you say, Greg. We'll definitely start to get all the candidates that'll be running in November here. We'll do what we can to get the information out to you, to get them so what their major areas and programs that they want to do, and that you can make that final vote. And please get everybody out to vote in November.
Yeah, that's our biggest problem. And with the governor going full on toward redistricting between the primary and the election, which quite frankly should be illegal. He's taken Trump's, redistricting effort and applying it here in Georgia, which just proves to me that Governor Kemp has never been actually for the people.
Yeah.
He's just for, controlling everything under the Republican banner. And that's just non-democratic. It's anti-democratic. So, the biggest problem we have is people not voting. So you really need to go out and talk to your friends and family and get them to vote.
When you get 35 to more percent of eligible voters, eligible meaning 18 and above, are not voting in a national presidential election, and that will apply this year to midterms, probably even more so.
More than ever before, for sure.
Doesn't make any logical common sense as to why.
Well, the bottom line is, if we want to win, if we want the country to win, if we want to bring balance back into our political life and therefore our everyday life, everybody that is of voting age needs to be aware and needs to be voting, because that's the only way we're going to beat this partisan gerrymandering, redistricting BS.
And that districting, the party districting and the redistricting, against everything the Constitution stands for, and yet it's going on, and the courts are allowing it to happen.
Well, and here's the thing: is this is a great segue into the next few minutes of our podcast, which is, Republicans are on record as being all in on gerrymandering in whatever way they want to. There have been 2 bills introduced, one in the House, one in the Senate, and in the House it was the For the People Act, which was introduced by Democrats, and it was produced to make it illegal across the land to do any partisan gerrymandering. Every single Democrat in the House voted for that when it came up for a vote. Every single Republican voted against it. So they are on record as saying they don't want to play fair. They just want to exercise power. And in our country, that has never worked well. Okay, and it's never been worse than it is now. The other one is the Senate introduced a bill, the Redistricting Reform Act of 2024. It was introduced by Senator Amy Klobuchar, a Democrat, and that one, Democrats are on record as overwhelmingly resulted, voting for that, and Republicans voted against it. And so, Republicans just want raw power. They want Democrats to be voted out of existence, and that's not the way America is supposed to work. So there you go.
Yeah. So
the only way we can fight that is to get out and vote against that stuff. We need to tell our representatives that we will vote you out of office by armies of us, and I don't mean armies with gun-toting people. I'm talking about armies of voters, because even if they racial gerrymander, if they anti-democratic, meaning Democratic Party gerrymandering, which is why they want the voter rolls. That's why Trump wants them. Okay, and if we all get out and vote, that's the way we beat it.
And the oxymoron is that the Republicans and Trump have been claiming about stealing the election, and that's exactly what the Republicans are trying to do.
Yeah,
is steal the elections by gerrymandering out the people who vote.
With them, it's all projection. Everything they say is what they want to do and are going to do. And so, the messaging is always, oh, we're the victims. That's bullshit. Yeah. They're not the victims. They're the perpetrators.
Yeah.
So just like him being a pedophile, and protecting pedophiles, and, his whole administration in the Republican Congress and House protecting pedophiles by not releasing the complete unredacted Epstein files, and he's on the record, Trump is on the record as saying, that'll hurt my friends. Well, that tells you where he is, okay? And so, there's nothing about this administration and about more and more Republicans across our land, and this is particularly Republicans in office, that says we're for, tilting the windmill our way as much as possible and against everybody else than the corruption that's going on in the Trump administration right now. Okay.
Speaking about corruption, I think you have something to say about.
Yeah,
about
if you're not aware of this, please share this with your friends and family. But Trump just convinced his lackey in the Justice Department to give him control of $1.7 billion of grievance money so that he can help out people that participated in the Jan 6 insurrection. He is shaking down the American people. He's taking our tax dollars, our money, our taxpayer money, and putting it in his own pockets. Okay? And giving it to criminals. He pardoned all those people. They were convicted of criminal behavior, violent criminal behavior, some of them. And so, to say that they're the law and order party, no, they're not. They are for power, exercised for power's sake. Yeah. And they are not interested in law and order. They're interested in laws for them and not for you.
The corruption is actually...
The theft is gargantuan.
He's manipulating the market. Yep. His family is insider trading that's happening on his family. He tries to claim that because his family is taking care of his money, it's not a conflict of interest, which is actually funny.
It is the definition of conflict of interest. It is a prime example of the definition of conflict of interest. So. They're always like Biden's laptop this and Biden that and, Hillary this and Hillary that. The level of corruption that's going on is gargantuan and has never occurred in the history of our country. These people are not interested in running this country for anything but their own gain. And they don't care what happens to us.
Yeah, when the President of the United States can manipulate the market by making statements one day, the day before the market opens up, or hours before the market opens up, and anybody, even if you're not involved in finance, can just figure out that that's exactly what's happening. The oil futures that people are investing in within minutes after he's making announcements.
Oh, even before.
Wide open.
They're making their investments before. Yeah. Knowing which way it's going to go.
Which way it's going to go, right.
Based on what he's going to announce. And so, this is this is everything that's going on in the Trump administration, and this is filtering now down into our state governments, which is why I'm so PO'd at Kemp, because normally he bucks Trump instead of backs Trump. Well, with this redistricting thing, Kemp is backing Trump, okay? And so we are living in a kleptocracy, people. He's turning us into Putin's Russia. He's turning us into a third world country. He used to get on the campaign trail, talk about how we're becoming a third world country. Well, guess what? He's turning us into it.
He's turning us into it.
So what is a kleptocracy, you may ask? Well, a kleptocracy, okay, is a form of government where corrupt leaders use their power to steal and exploit the nation's wealth. That means us, the taxpayers, and the resources for personal gain, okay? Systematic embezzlement, bribery, and state capture are normalized, and that's what the Trump administration is doing, okay? And they're trying to make it filter all the way down to the streets of our towns.
Right.
And so the only way to get rid of this is to vote them all out.
And the other way is to let people know. People just don't follow what's going on, and the average person in my mind doesn't even realize and doesn't know some of the details that we're just talking about of how they are stealing our money. Everybody knows, or everybody watching realizes that he's been claiming that they were going to, the private funding was going to do the White House, the redoing of the
ballroom. The
ballroom. And then they asked, then he's looking for $1 billion.
Oh yeah.
What?
And he's got Congress in his back pocket, so he's going to get it.
Yeah.
And you think that he's going to build a ballroom? I bet you he doesn't. Honestly,
And
the Trump de Trump, the Trump, the whole dressing up of the National Mall, giving a no bid contract to this pool guy.
I was just going to go into
paint the reflection pool. It's a reflection pool. It's supposed to be black. Okay, if it's black, and plus it's festooned with cracks. It's old.
Yeah.
It needs to be fixed. It doesn't need to be painted. This is all putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
I mean,
no bid contracts are going out to people that are all associated with Trump or his family
in his personal
across the
circle.
board.
Yeah,
It is so blatant. Of stealing our tax money and using it for his personal vendettas, his personal grievances, his personal wealth.
Yep.
Okay, and his gold statue down in Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, so all right. I think we've ranted enough for today.
Oh, we could keep going.
Yeah, I got to go check my blood pressure.
Yeah, mine too. In fact, mine is the pressure in my eye. Yesterday, you don't know, but I went to check my eye thing out, and the pressure in the eye was high. So I've got another eye drop that I got to put in to keep the pressure out.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
Why
you're not kidding.
I'm straining with my
All right. Okay. We're gonna sign off before Pat's eye explodes. Okay, it'll be like something out of an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
All right, stick with us.
Well, we love y'all like fellow citizens, everybody.
Please,
and
again, spread the word. We'd like to get more people on the podcast as possible. I've got friends in Florida, Salt Lake City, and San Jose, California on my podcast, on our podcast.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm going to keep adding more from wherever I can.
Yep, and one last time, hit that like and subscribe button if you appreciate what we do, and like Pat's saying, share the wealth.
Yeah, we're all free, so all you got to do is like it and join us. And
currently, we're free. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good week.
Yeah, have a good week and stay with us.
Stay healthy.